Homer always likes to blame his kids for his lack of everything, but would Homer really be a successful, popular man if he had no kids to begin with? Or is this just another excuse Homer uses to make himself feel better about his own shortcomings?
Honey, I'm home!
After years of abuse, the couch wants to go on vacation as well, and the family has to chase down their beloved couch through different countries, until finally they catch the couch floating in space and force it to return everyone back to Earth. The Springfield Wall of Fame is having a grand ceremony, as the mayor inducts a new member to this prestigious wall of vaguely important people. Vance Connor is the name of the inductee, and this guy has been a pillar for the city of Springfield. He has his own business, and is also known as a great tipper. Everyone loves Vance, but Homer is not joining in on the constant glazing. In fact, it looks like Homer has a personal grudge against Vance Connor, and it turns out that Vance was chosen as the class president over Homer. Lisa and Bart are surprised that their lazy-ass father would run for president in the first place. Back in the day, Homer actually had hopes and dreams, and now he reminiscences about the past and his high school days when things were simpler.
Before I met your mother, a simpler time when the only thing we worried about was total nuclear annihilation.
Homer remembers how Vance delivered his presidential speech, and everyone loved Vance. But when Homer was called on stage, it becomes clear that Homer has absolutely no clout. He comes off as being awkward, and when Homer realizes that his speech is not working, he decides to tear away his cards and improve the whole thing. But Homer is not smart enough to improve, and he ends up looking like a big idiot. When Homer remembers this memory, he feels greatly upset, and soon, even Marge is taken in by Vance Connor. Homer shits on Vance as much as he can. He is convinced that deep down, Vance is just an insecure little boy.
Losers like me know one thing. It's that deep down, winners like him are miserable.
Homer decides to prove his own projections by rushing towards Vance and confronting him. Homer tries to convince Vance that he is a miserable man, but Homer is left even more embarrassed. Back at Moe's Tavern, Moe has created a new drink in honor of Vance. Even Lenny and Carl are praising Vance because he is such a good guy, but Homer informs everyone that he is upset because of his cringe loss back in high school. Lenny and Carl then take the opportunity to reveal a secret to Homer. It turns out that the principal at the time asked Lenny and Carl to bury the ballot box deep in the forest. The two nerds didn't question the principal and agreed to his unusual task. Hearing this makes Homer believe that he actually won the presidential vote, but the principal decided to sabotage him. When Homer returns home, he tries to fall asleep, but the truth haunts him. Homer has to know what the buried ballot box is truly hiding. So in a fit of rage and petty grudges, Homer wakes up Lenny in the dead of the night and forces his friend to take him to the location of the buried ballot box. The two men start digging, and soon Homer finds the object of his pain and desperation. The following morning, Homer takes the box back home, and Lisa counts all of the ballots.
It's Connor.
No!
Homer Simpson.
Woohoo!
Please stop doing that.
No! Or woohoo!
After carefully counting all of the votes, Lisa realizes that her father is actually the winner, and Homer celebrates this premature victory. It's a little pathetic to see a grown man so happy for a bygone high school victory. But now, Homer is determined to confront Vance and the old principal. The principal at the time is now living in a retirement home. The guy is old, and now Homer is going to berate him further. The principal is not perturbed to see Homer confronting him in such a brazen manner, but he is willing to share the truth. Apparently, when the elections were being held, the principal overheard some of the kids talking about voting for Homer as a joke and then pranking him on the day of the election. Hearing this made the principal hide the ballot box because he did not want Homer to get his feelings hurt. Homer has never felt so many emotions in his entire life. On one hand, he wants to strangle the principal for ruining his entire life, but Homer also understands that the principal was just trying to protect him. A kid like Homer would have never recovered from a prank like that. After his talk with the principal, Homer becomes even more depressed. It turns out that he wasn't some smart genius that everyone loved. His victory was due to sheer dumb luck, and the principal prevented even that from happening. Homer is so upset that he doesn't even touch his food, which is definitely concerning for his entire life. Who knows what a hungry Homer is capable of? Homer is mainly upset because he doesn't know how his life would have ended up if he had the chance to become president. All of a sudden, the chef at the Italian Italian restaurant where the family is eating reveals something strange. Apparently, the guy who makes the sauce in the back has a secret ability. He is able to see what might have been. When Lisa hears this, she brings out her inner skeptic. But regardless, the entire family gathers around the sauce to see what Homer's life could have been. The strange, slightly disturbed man stirs the sauce, and slowly, a vision plays out. Homer and the rest can see that the election comes out in Homer's favor, and everyone starts laughing at him. But the school nerds think that it is great that Homer is now president, and they start cheering for him. This causes the entire auditorium to cheer for Homer, and it looks like that the prank ends in a very favorable manner. When current Homer sees that his fate could have been different, he is left even more devastated. Now, instead of being a Homer, he is wasting a perfectly good day staring into a dirty sauce.
Why did fate do this to me?
But Homer is not done. He wants to see more, and he forces the sauce man to keep on stirring. The method works, and Homer can see his younger high school self strutting down the hallway. Everyone is asking for his opinion on matters, and it seems quite popular. Some girls even ask Homer out to the prom, but Homer has his eyes set on Debbie, the star cheerleader. Marge is in the hallway as well, and she feels upset that Homer did not choose her. Lisa interjects at this point, because she believes this is proof that Homer would not have had a good life without Marge. The sauce man tells Lisa to shut up, and as the vision continues, everyone can see Homer dancing with Debbie, but the minute his eyes set on Marge, Homer decides that he picked the wrong dance partner. In this version of the world, Homer actually has enough riz to ditch a girl, and he goes up to Marge and dances with her. Homer and Marge end the night together, and it looks like this is how Homer would have still been married to Marge, even if he was popular and successful. On the way from dropping Marge off, Homer is stopped by Mr. Burns, who takes a keen interest in this promising young man. Mr. Burns offers to give Homer a job right then and there. Lisa interjects once more with her annoying takes. And this time, she believes that Homer's life would not have been any different, because he would still be working for Mr. Burns.
You keep it quiet.
As the vision continues, Homer pulls up to his old house, which he now uses as a guest house. And in this version of events, Homer actually lives in a huge-ass manor. Even Marge looks fancy and lavish, and it looks like using protection goes a long way for both Homer and Marge in this version of events.
Where are the kids?
You use protection. We never had any.
Seeing this vision makes Marge realize that Homer's alternative life is missing the constant presence of kids. And this is the reason why it would have been horrible, but from Homer's perspective. His fake dream life is worth dying in a vat of sauce for, and he flings himself into the pot, hoping that the dream will become reality.
Blah, blah, blah. And I want to live on the sauce.
Now that Homer has seen the entire truth of his life and how things would have turned out, Homer is even more depressed. Homer gives up entirely on cheering himself up or making an effort. Even Bart and Lisa are worried about their dad. The family decides to hold a small intervention for Homer. Even Bart, who usually would be happy to see his father in such a sorry state, tries to make Homer listen to reason, but Homer is convinced that the magic sauce does not lie.
Oh, look who thinks he's smarter than sauce.
Marge and the rest of the family decide to take Homer out for a walk to cheer him up, but in reality, they take him to the Wall of Fame. Apparently, the family ended up putting Homer's face on the wall as well, even though he doesn't deserve to be there. Marge and the kids think that Homer is great enough as he is.
Was there another plaque here before?
Plaques come, plaques go.
So now you know the alternative life, where Homer didn't have kids. But what happens when he becomes a grandparent in the future, with Maggie having a baby? If you want to know what happens, click on this video next, but not before you smash those like and subscribe buttons.